Hey, brother, how are you, man? Ready for tomorrow? Good deal. Good deal. really? Bumper, bumper, stomper, boo?
I never was a duty. I never did
Nothing at all?
I was invisible.
Why did you?
Third guy from the left.
I'm so disappointed. I saw her later.
You know what?
Dancing later.
Here. You want to bring that up with you?
I'll just bring it
All right.
up. That's
Good deal.
very good.
Okay. Check, check.
Should I be here? I start coughing, I'm gonna be your beverage too.
It's warm after cider, so
Oh, really?
just so you know, don't spit it all over the place. Straight tonight. The real deal. Is Bill here?
He is here.
I didn't hear.
He is at this. Oh, here's Marjorie. So he's over there talking to.
Oh, there is.
Jacob
I
Dow.
just didn't hear it. I don't mean that in a bad
No,
way.
you
I just thought I
usually
haven't
do.
heard Bill, so I
Would
don't
you
know if
do
it's
a
yours.
bit? There's not a. Is there a lip on this?
Yes. Yep.
Do you mind taking that with you when you?
No, I can do it. John, do you need this? Okay,
Yes, his
I'll
own.
take it, and
Do
that
you
way you
mind
have room.
taking it?
Yeah, not a
That'd be
problem.
great.
Yep. I don't want to make this
Here we are.
Yeah. Okay.
We could have somebody ding their glasses. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's probably a good call.
I usually do that.
Give it
We're
a
going to get
minute.
started in about a minute.
Yeah. Yeah.
Give it a minute.
Okay, if we could have you take your seats, we'll get started here in just a moment. There you go. Okay. Good evening, and welcome to the 2024 Homecoming Alumni Banquet. What a pleasure it is to see so many alums and supporters, friends, and distinguished guests here this evening. I'm Derek Chappell. I am the Leadership Gift Officer here at Ottawa University, a proud alum of 1987, and a board member of the, I heard a ooh-hoo from 87, thank you. All right, thank you. And a board member of the Alumni Association. So on behalf of the association, the advancement team, and the staff, we are very honored to have you here tonight, to host you, and look forward to celebrating this wonderful event with you. As we begin, I'd like to recognize some special guests who are joining us this evening. University Chancellor Dr. Bill Suitsui and his wife, Dr. Marjorie Swan, here in front. OUKS President Dr. Bambi Brigard and her husband, Jeff Traeger, here this evening. OU Online President Dr. Chantel Link. Is Chantel here this evening? I hadn't seen her yet. Okay. OU AZ President Dr. Dennis Tyner and his wife, Patty. Over here. Vice Chancellor for University Advancement, Janet Peters, who's out in the back. Janet, you want to wave? Wave, Janet. There you go. There she is. Still working. Provost and Vice Chancellor for Academic Affairs, Dr. Joanne Bangs. There she is right there. Ottawa University Alumni Association President Reagan Eshelman Jones and her husband, Trustee Michael Jones. There they are right there. And of course, we'll be recognizing more special guests as we make our way tonight through the program. So now it is my pleasure to introduce our brand new president, Dr. Bambi Brigard. Bambi, I was going to have you walk up here and say things about you, so if you'll sit, I'm going to say things about you, okay? Please. Dr. Brigard joined Ottawa University in January of 2023 as an associate professor of counseling and the graduate counseling program director of the Overland Park campus. She began her role as interim campus president here on June 1 and has just recently been selected to serve as our new president. So prior to coming to OU, Dr. Brigard served as the Executive Vice President for Academic Affairs at the Kansas City Art Institute. There she led all academic programs and functions for the college of 750 students, pursuing a Bachelor of Fine Arts degree. During her 22-year tenure at KCAI, she served in leadership roles that included Vice President for Academic Affairs, Vice President for Enrollment Management and Student Achievement, Associate Vice President for Student Achievement, Dean of Academic Resources and Assistant Dean for Academic Affairs and Student Achievement. Dr. Brigard is married to Jeff Traeger, as I mentioned, Senior Research Associate at the University of Missouri, Kansas City, and they have 2 college-age daughters. Please welcome the president of Ottawa University, Dr. Bambi Brigard.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Derek. Good evening, everyone. It's my honor and privilege to be with you this evening to celebrate the incredible accomplishments of our illustrious alumni being recognized tonight. What a special night for us to gather in celebration of so many individuals who are living the Ottawa University mission to live a life of personal significance and vocational fulfillment, while also leading in service to God and others. Thank you for being inspirational forces and role models for our current students. You remind all of us what we can accomplish when we set goals and work hard to meet them. Homecoming is a time for you, our alumni, to reconnect. For us, it is a special time of year because we get to welcome you back home. To our alumni, the connections and sense of community that I see in this room tonight likely began when you were students here at OU. You may have come to college not knowing any other student on campus, but that quickly changed as OU became your second home. You may have been classmates, teammates, roommates, or even romantic dates, but regardless of how your relationships began, you are connected to each other and to Ottawa University. This is your community, and we are so happy to have you back home for a few days. For those of us working with students each day, we want to help students gain a sense of community, confidence, and resilience. We want to enhance their sense of belonging, and we will work to elevate the student experience inside and outside the classroom. We are exploring partnerships with businesses and organizations to create internship opportunities for our students because we know internships often lead to jobs. We are also beginning to create opportunities for students to serve on community boards. And thanks to Ottawa Chamber President and OU alum and honoree tonight, Rylan Miller, we will be piloting this program with the Chamber very soon. The relationships and connections you built during your time at OU and the success you have experienced as graduates exemplifies why we value community, collaboration, and belonging. During my short time at OU, I have experienced the strength and the pride of the OU community firsthand in my interactions with current students and alumni. 35 years ago, as a first-generation college student from a rural farming community, I didn't know what to expect when I went to college. I had no idea how college would expand my worldview and give me a sense of community. I remember during my first week of college, my roommate and I saw a flyer in the student union for a group called Student Alumni Council. They were having their first meeting. I had no idea what Student Alumni Council was, but I was looking for a group and they were looking for members. What a difference that student group made for me. It gave me the opportunity to meet and interact with university alumni and serve as a student representative on advisory boards and university committees. This experience gave me leadership opportunities and a sense of belonging and connections with alumni. Now, as a mother of two college-age daughters, one of whom is a student athlete, I know how important it is for students to feel at home quickly when they go to college. We know that curricular and co-curricular programs provide a sense of belonging for students and foster unity while embracing diverse experiences and perspectives. We work to foster resilience, communication skills, leadership, and confidence, and our students bring these skills to their academic and future professional pursuits. To our alumni here this evening, you exemplify these qualities, and we are so pleased to honor you tonight. Thank you to the faculty, staff members, trustees, coaches, and community members who are here tonight to help us honor the achievements of our outstanding alumni. Thank you to the alumni who have returned home to OU. We appreciate you being here, and we hope that you enjoy your time together. Thank you.
And if you're wondering about our new president, I can tell you this. I first met Bambi in June at a chamber function here. I was not employed here yet. She'd been here about a week. We spoke for less than 5 minutes. Made a great impression, told her as an alum. She made a great impression at that point, but what was even better was the next morning in my inbox, I had an email that said, "It was a pleasure to meet you yesterday." That's the kind of president we have here now at Ottawa University. So it's a pleasure to have you here. You bet. And now it is my pleasure to introduce a man I've known a long time and enjoy working alongside now, John Holzhutter, University Chaplain and Director of the Frederickson Center for Faith and Church Vitality. If you'd come to the microphone and recognize our Braves, and give us our invocation before dinner. Thanks, John.
The Braves statement reads, the Ottawa University Alumni Association invites you to join in observing a moment of silence, both in memory and acknowledgement of our brave Braves, those Ottawa University students, alumni, and friends who have offered their military service to our country. And so we will pause in the spirit of honor, acknowledgement, and appreciation for all of our Braves, and also other alumni and friends who've died this past year. They're listed in the program on page 15 if you'd like to refer to that. We invite everyone to please stand if you're able and join in observing this moment of shared silence as we recognize and treasure these absent friends who left their imprint on our country, our university, and the lives of all they cared for. Now let's join in prayer. God, creator, sustainer, and giver of grace, aware of your blessings through the paths and the people that have led to this moment, we bask now in your plan and in your presence. We are grateful for this assembly, the connection of the Ottawa spirit shared by all in this room and in the legacy of those absent from our space, but firmly anchored in our hearts. We thank you for those that made this evening possible, and we ask your blessing on the food we will share and a flood of grace on this year's honorees and those who love them. Fortify their diligence and keep them bold and ever brave. And as they move on to next chapters and new phases of purpose, empower us all to strive for higher callings, make significant impacts worthy of your divine coaching, and stay ever open to your sacred plan. And the people say, amen.
Thank you, John. You may be seated. So, our dinner this evening will be served buffet style. You'll be released by table. Please enjoy more fellowship and time together while we do that, and enjoy your meal. Thank you again for being here tonight.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
If you want to grab that coffee and find those seats here pretty soon, we'll get ready to get started with the rest of the program, but I want to give you the opportunity to get a cup or two before we start. There- Look at all the fans we don't have.
Yeah, it was me.
So you played baseball?
I did actually 4 years.
Okay. Who was the baseball coach back then?
Sherm, well, Bill Freer.
Right.
Sherm Price was my freshman year,
Okay.
and then Bill Freer in the last 3.
So I'm from Ottawa, so I knew those guys as a kid.
Those guys.
Bocek was my neighbor.
Bill.
Bo was my extra grandpa.
Bo was tough.
So every time I tell somebody, it's like, Bocek was my neighbor, I get the same response. Oh.
There's no messing
Oh,
with him.
really?
I
Oh.
get called to his office.
To me, he was just an extra grandpa guy, but everybody else gives me that, oh.
Well, you know, he was a hard writer, you know.
was.
But you really would give you a break. I mean,
He'd give you a break, but he was on you because he wanted to do better.
he was going to make you feel like you really messed up, and he was going to give you a
He
break.
was. He was good
He
at
was
that.
good.
His son BJ
PJ,
was 10 years older than I was, so he was kind of a big brother to me. So he'd bring me over here a lot. So I grew up on this campus.
I was just so
Knew that.
he was in such great shape.
Oh,
He was in his 50s.
oh, crazy. Great. Always in there working out, doing stuff. Where were you from originally? Oh my God, you came along. How'd you get here from Massachusetts? Really? Wow. How'd that happen? Who recruited you?
Nick Peters.
Did he really?
And then Gina Marcus was a superintendent in the Manhattan area. He's retired. And then Kevin Lucy was an All-American. All-American 1971. And then
Wow. Wow. That says something right there.
and I got called down, and my roommate got called down, and they wanted us to come. And so 5 of us went here. 2 people stayed.
Yeah.
3 of us went back home, and we all got jobs in the same school system. And retired from the same school.
Wow. That's quite a success story. That is a cool story. We need to share that.
But hey, this was great here.
I'm glad. I'm glad you guys are here.
It's really special to come back. I haven't been here.
Great.
Well, really 50 years.
Really, it's been that long since you've been
I
here?
passed through in 1975, but I really just
Wow,
passed
that
through.
long. Has it been that long for you since you've been back? Okay, all right. So this isn't all as new to you as it is. Wow, 50 years later, look at this place.
Right.
That's great. Well, we're glad you guys are here. All right, let's do this thing, shall we? All right. If you are still finishing your meal, please do so. If for some reason you did not partake of the chocolate cake, that's okay. All untouched chocolate cake goes home with the MC, so thank you for your contribution. I appreciate it. So it wouldn't be an alumni event if we didn't talk about tradition and honor tradition. So As we do each year at Homecoming, we celebrate our 50th year class. So joining us now are members of the planning committee from the class of 1974, who we graciously welcome back to campus. Please welcome Dolly Spivey and Dave Wilbur.
Thank you. It's so wonderful to be back on the OU campus, and I just can't. When I was here and I would see that the 50th anniversary class was here for homecoming, I never imagined that I would be back 50 years later. But I feel so blessed to be here 50 years later. Okay, thank you. And that's I just want to say that Ottawa University changed my life. So I had come from a family of 10 brothers and sisters. I was the first person to come away to a college campus for school, even though I had 2 older sisters who went to the junior college. I came to the 4-year college first, and then I brought 2 more of my sisters here after me. So it's just a wonderful thing to be here and to be with my classmates and get renewed with our friendships, and some that I probably didn't even talk to while I was here. But we're getting acquainted now, and most of the names and the faces are familiar because we were a family, and it's so wonderful to see that OU is still a family. Thank you.
Thank you, and I would like to thank everybody in the university for putting on this event, and especially Becky from the Alumni Association, who Dolly and I worked with, and I really don't know how I got on this ticket because I really didn't do a whole lot. All I did was nod my head and say, yep, that's good, we'll go with that. But Becky had a lot of great ideas, and so did Dolly, and it was just nice to be part of it. I loved OU. I came here from Newburyport, Massachusetts, and with 5 other guys that went to school here from Newburyport, and 3 of us went back to the Boston area, and 2 of them stayed out here, and they're still here. So, the thing I always remembered about Ottawa, and one of the things I really loved was that when you came here, there was kids from all over the country. And when back in the 70s, we had kids from the West Coast, the East Coast, and as you know, international students as well. So we all came from different, walks of life, but we all came here for different reasons. But one of the things that impressed me the most, or I really know, is we all come here and we loved it. And it changed my life in a real positive way, and I'm grateful for everything I've gotten out of the university. And it's just great to be here tonight and celebrate with all of you. So have a good night. Thank you.
Thank you both very much. We'll continue that conversation we were having just a minute ago, Dave. I want to hear more about that. So it is my pleasure now to introduce a former classmate of mine, both enjoying collaborating now after 40 years. Please welcome our Director of Alumni Programs, Becky Blau. Since you're 42.
Right. Now you don't have to guess how old I am, so thank you for that, Derek. Yes, thank you so much. I love to look around this room and see all the people gathered. Whether you are an alum, a friend or family of an alum, it feels like family. And so that is part of the Ottawa spirit. That is what makes this place so special. So whether you were here 50 years ago or 5 years ago, that is something that has continued. And I just love that we get to keep that going. So class of 74, yes, we had one Dolly that started it months ago, and then Dave grabbed a hold and said, yes, I'll help as well. And kudos to them, because they ended up with a really nice group of people this morning, and watching them have conversation and reconnect was so much fun. So let's please give them another round of applause for their... Secondly, I would also like to do a little shout out to my alumni board. They don't get a lot of credit, but they are behind the scenes, and they have so many good ideas, all with different experiences, all from different walks, different decades. But when we come together, the juices start flowing, and we come up with some great ideas. So any of my alumni board members, would you please stand? And then I would like to recognize something we're going to call a little bit of a roll call, okay? So this is a crowd participation thing. if you are able, I would like you to stand when I call the decade of your graduation. So if you are an alum and you graduated after 2010, please stand. Okay, stay standing if you would. Stay standing. If you graduated between the year 2000 and 2009, do we have anybody? We gotta get on that, Becky. We do. Let's grow our group, Reagan. If you graduated between 1990 and 1999, anyone from that era? Between 1980 and 1989? Between 1970 and 1979? Yes, yes. Between 1960 and 1969? And lastly, anybody before 1960? There we go. There we go. Yes. Awesome. That is the Ottawa spirit in this room. Go Braves. So thank you. You may have a seat. A few little bits of housekeeping before I turn it back over. Next year, homecoming will be October 23rd, 24th, and 25th. So if you're in the area and you feel like coming back, you are always welcome to be here. Secondly, part of the reason we are able to recognize alums on a night like this is because they are nominated from someone else. So I'm putting out a little bit of a plea. Out there in the Maybe Lounge, you will find there are two different pieces of paper out there. These are both access to the alumni nomination form for an award. If you'd rather go paper form, you can fill this out and drop it by our office, or send it to the Alumni and Advancement office. You can scan it, send it. This one has a QR code. It will take you directly to the registration form online. So either way, we would love to get nominations for someone that you feel qualifies for an alumni award. So I think that is it. I'm going to turn it back over to Derek.
I should have said, since you're only 42, it's really weird that we worked together for 40 years. My mistake. I didn't read that in the script, Becky. My fault. As Becky said, each year at this banquet, we honor alumni who have made contributions to their world and to the world at large. And each award has a different purpose and intent, all designed to acknowledge the lives of the outstanding significance that Ottawa University alums or friends have led. So without alums nominating alums, we're not here to do this. So Becky kind of stole a little bit of my thunder here, but that's the whole point, is we wouldn't be here without alums who know others who are deserving to be here. So speaking of deserving and honorees, we're going to now begin with the recognition of those here with us this evening. So you can refer to your program for a more extensive explanation of the criteria for each award if you'd like, and biographies. I'm going to do a little bit of that up here for you. I'm going to ask each honoree to remain seated until I read your full citation, and then if you'd make your way to the stage to receive your award, have a picture, and share a few words. So, as is tradition, we begin with the Distinguished Service Award, which is designed to recognize outstanding personal and professional contributions to society through service in the church and or the community over a span of time. The recipient will be individuals or couples who have demonstrated professional competence and accomplishment and abiding loyalty to Ottawa University. Nominees may be alumni or friends of the university. Tonight, we honor Dr. Wendell Comforter. Wendell, your citation reads as follows. For earning your degree at Ottawa University, for earning your master's degree and PhD and becoming a licensed clinical psychologist, for your service as a fellow of the American Academy of Clinical Psychology and as a member of the National Register of Health Service Psychologists, for your work with the American Psychological Association, Illinois Psychological Association, and the National Alliance on Mental Illness, for your career in higher education with the Chicago Institute of Technology, the Chicago College of Osteopathic Medicine, Midwestern University, and Adler University, where you served as clinical supervisor of psychology doctoral interns, for your clinical accomplishments with men's issues, older adult issues, trauma-related issues, and grief-related issues, for the beacon of your example and the establishment of the Dr. Wendell W. Carpenter Award for Professionalism and Diversity at Midwestern University. It is for these and other notable accomplishments the officers and members of the Ottawa University Alumni Association on this 18th day of October 2024 proudly award you, Dr. Wendell Carpenter, the 2024 Distinguished Service Award. Congratulations.
It is absolutely wonderful to be here. So to the Ottawa University Alumni Association, thank you. Thank you very much for this honor. To Chancellor Bill Tsutsui, I'm so glad to be here and to see you again. To my family, thank you. Thank you for being here and honoring me, sharing this honor with me. It was the worst of times. It was the best of times. My mother died 4 years prior to my arrival at Ottawa University. She died suddenly, and I was lost. I did not have a direction. I did not have a purpose. At Ottawa University, I found a very warm, welcoming community. A community that saw me as a person rather than a number. A community that had some wonderful faculty members. And one of those is sitting at my table, Cliff Burke. Cliff is a very, very special man. Cliff was my professor. Cliff is my friend, and Cliff will always, always be my mentor. Cliff, you guided me. You were such a kind influence, and I am grateful for your positive attitude about everything. Grateful for you. The late Bill Bocek. Bo was my coach. He encouraged me, supported me, but he did one other thing. Bo told me, supported me, encouraged me to go beyond, think beyond just getting a college degree. Think beyond that. And that was Bo. But it was also here where I met my roommate, Mayor Richard Jackson. Dick is a wonderful man. He's a wonderful man, but don't ever let him cut your hair. I had to wear a hat for 3 weeks. But the list goes on. There are so many of you that contributed to my journey, and I'm grateful to each and every one of you. This seemingly small university had a tremendous, a profound impact on me, because it was here where I found a purpose. I found something that was significant, something that gave me a direction. And that was to be involved in a life of service. The American Psychological Association has many, many guidelines for those psychologists, guidelines to protect practitioners, guidelines to protect our clients and patients, and guidelines to protect the public. Some years ago, I decided to write my own guidelines for my profession, my own personal guidelines. And so it became a mission statement. And so I put together a mission statement to remind me every single day of my direction and my purpose. And that purpose, that mission statement goes as follows. I give of myself to fulfill your will, not mine. To be of service rather than to be served. I accept this covenant and trust in you, no matter what, as I look beyond appearances. Every day, every single day, I will honor you, praise you, and give you thanks. Thank you, Father. Thank you, Father, for your precious Son, Jesus. And in conclusion, one of my favorite quotes comes from Carl Jung. And Carl Jung said this: he who looks outside dreams. He who looks inside awakens. Over the many years of my life, I continue to look inside. Thank you.
You want to get them later? Okay.
Wow. We move to the Outstanding Achievement Award. It was established to recognize those Ottawa University graduates who've gone beyond their OU experience to achieve a significant level of responsibility and recognition. It may be based on accomplishments in the context of their paid career, or for civic or personal interests they have pursued, which would have an impact on the world, the nation, state, or their community. Nominees will have demonstrated a strong sense of ethics consistent with the values of a Christian education and will be admired for both their accomplishments and their personal values. This evening, we honor Dr. Randall Lake for his achievements and the Outstanding Achievement Award. Randall, your citation reads as follows: for earning your degree at Ottawa University, for earning your master's and PhD, for your membership and guidance at the University of Southern California, which helped your students garner more than 1,000 awards, for a 46-year career as an educator, creating and teaching courses across nearly 40 topics in over 170 classrooms while mentoring 50 graduate students and multiple doctoral projects. For your work as an award-winning scholar and exceptional diligence as an author, having edited 4 books and authored more than 30 articles in national and international journals. For your presentation of more than 60 papers nationally and internationally, and for your direction of the National Communication Association American Forensic Association Summer Conference on Argumentation. For your numerous awards and accolades in chairing of multiple national professional organizations. For your induction in the Phi Kappa Delta Order of Attainment. For these and other notable accomplishments, the officers and members of the Ottawa University Alumni Association on this 18th day of October 2024 proudly award you, Randall Lake, with the 2024 Outstanding Achievement Award. Congratulations.
Dr. Carpenter's speech is a hard act to follow. I'll do my best, and I think you'll discover a theme that is common. To say that I was surprised to receive Becky's letter about this award would be a huge understatement. And honestly, it is a tiny bit creepy to realize that someone has been watching. But the award means so much because most of the rewards of teaching are intangible. We certainly don't do it for the money, and we rarely know whether we have made a real difference in students' lives. But as a wonderful former PhD advisee reminded me about a month ago, it is important, as she said, to give people their flowers. So I would like to take this opportunity to acknowledge some other OU professors who were enormously influential in my own career and life. First, Dr. Michael Tweet, from whom I took more classes than anyone else. Mike gave me my first opportunity in curriculum development in an independent study where I designed some self-guided modules in argument and reasoning. One of the things this taught me is that those two things always belong together. I also learned from Mike the power of persuasion. Somehow he managed to talk me into painting his house one summer. Second, Dr. Quincy Brown. Q was my debate coach, having come to OU from Wichita State, where her team had won the national championship. I learned a lot about strategy, but more about coaching. Q did not dictate. She gave us freedom to develop our own ideas for cases and arguments as we saw fit, and then test them out in competition. The wins were more fun, but the losses were more instructive. Via another independent study, Q introduced me to the subject of gender in human relations, which I have pursued in research and teaching ever since. And she showed me life outside of work and about paying it forward. She's lived in the DC area for many years now, excuse me, where she does amazing volunteer work. And finally, that legendary, irascible, irrepressible man with the nasal Texas twang, Dr. Ronnie Avert. If Mike and Q were an open hand, metaphorically, Ronnie was the closed fist. He pushed me beyond what I thought were my limits. No doubt we could all spend hours swapping stories. I will simply note that he gave me my very first teaching opportunity, turning his classroom over to me one day. I'm not sure whether any of you were witnesses, but if you were, all I can say is, I'm so sorry. Ronnie asked, no, Ronnie demanded more of me, which is something that, for better or worse, I have paid forward for almost 50 years now. And yes, I do still ask students at the end of class whether they have any questions, comments, or observations. This award bears tangible witness to the difference that Mike, Q, and Ronnie made in my life. Apparently, the Alumni Association believes that I may have done the same, for which I am honored and humbled. Thank you very much.
Tonight, we have another Outstanding Achievement Award to present. This evening, Linda Gooch Burnett Martin is being honored with the Outstanding Achievement Award. Gooch, your citation reads as follows: for earning your degree at Ottawa University, for working as an educator in your 24-year career with the Department of Children and Families, for your service as a founding member of the Leavenworth Interfaith Community of Hope, and your directorship of the Leavenworth Interfaith Shelter of Hope, a 6,000 square foot building containing a service referral agency, as well as a day shelter and a 36-bed emergency homeless shelter. For advising DePaul Leavenworth Attainable Housing, for your faith commitment with Leavenworth United Methodist Church, where you served on the mission team, and your current work with the Sisters of Charity of Leavenworth as an associate. For your unwavering hopefulness and compassion for your growing family. For these and other notable accomplishments, the officers and members of the Ottawa University Alumni Association on this 18th day of October 2024 proudly award you, Linda Gooch Burnett Martin, with the 2024 Outstanding Achievement Award. Congratulations. You got to turn around because they want to see your face.
This won't work?
No.
Okay, first I want you to know that this picture is an artificial intelligence generated shot. And I need to know if you're going to mute my mic if I exceed my time limit.
It's all yours.
All mine, he says. Okay, I would like to thank you very much for this opportunity for rebuttal and an explanation of who should actually be receiving this award. I'll get to that in just a second, but I want to talk a little bit and introduce some special people. My children, 3 of my 4 children are here tonight, and I'd like to introduce them in birth order so as not to show favoritism. Laura Martin Alexander, OU class of 90. And her husband, John. You can just wave, John. Joseph Martin, OU class of, oh yeah, forgot him over there. Joseph Martin, class of 91 at OU, and his wife, Jane, who's waving there. Betsy Martin Do Ramaji, class of 93, OU, and her husband, Sala. I have another son, Chris Martin, former student of class of 94, and his wife, Wendy. They're in Ohio, and he just received a pacemaker, so he's not here tonight. Chris chose to serve his country in the Marine Corps and finished his degree while serving, a couple of degrees. The family tradition at OU is strong. The parents of many of my children's classmates are my classmates. I came to OU in 1962 on an academic scholarship, and I fell in love with everything OU. The first semester, I had a GPA of 2.9. Now, that's pretty good because back then we were on a 3-point scale. The second semester, I had a GPA considerably lower than that, and I lost that scholarship. My parents told me that they couldn't afford to send me back to Ottawa, and if I really wanted to go to college, I could live at home and go to the local Catholic girls' school. Well, I really did want to go to college, but I really did want to go back to OU. So I went to that local Catholic girls' school, and I made the lives of my parents such a living hell for that one semester. They mortgaged almost everything they owned. And I am a graduate of Ottawa University. I truly loved OU. Well, I still do. That's a typo. I truly love OU, and the friends I made after college will attest to that, because I have waxed eloquent ad nauseum about my liberal arts education at a Christian college. You see what I did there? On campus, I was known as Gooch, and it's a medium-long story about how that happened, but the name stuck for all 4 years, well, 3.5 years anyway. And you can see my brick near the flame in the front of this building that simply says Gooch 1966, as does my personalized car tag. See me later if you want the story about my nickname. I made lifelong friends at OU, and I know you did too. There are a group of us from different graduation years who meet somewhere in the lower 48 each year to renew that friendship. We call ourselves the Old Broads. I am told that this group nominated me for this award. Only one of the group could attend tonight, and I'd like to introduce Dr. Sue Steiger-Tebb, class of 67. You can just wave, Sue. Don't worry, I'm going to get to the rebuttal part in just a minute. There are several things listed in my bio in the program, but I want to call your attention to a couple and also add one more. The part about my time spent in the United Methodist Church was influenced by the chair of the mission team, Sandy Simmons. You can just wave, Sandy. She is a true servant and had a career that proved that. She organized us and found money for our endeavors, but most importantly, showed us how to, I can hardly wait for this, showed us how to love and serve, as John Wesley said. Do all the good you can, by all the means you can, in all the ways you can, in all the places you can, and all the times you can, to all the people you can, as long as ever you can. Sandy also served on a Sisters of Charity of Leavenworth focus group and decided that I should meet Sister Vicki Perkins. Wave, Vicki. With the sisters, I found another group that lives to serve the poor. My rather dull life changed after the introduction to Sister Vicki, because she's a mover and a shaker and a starter. My time working with her resulted in a couple of things that can only be described as miraculous. After a rather uneventful start as a referral agency, we determined that a homeless shelter was needed. An invitation to a meeting was sent to all the churches in Leavenworth, and 3 months after that meeting, we opened the Leavenworth Interfaith Shelter of Hope. No one had ever even been in a homeless shelter, and we didn't exactly know what we were doing. And we did it anyway. Our original shelter model was completely staffed by volunteers, 70 a week, and it has been open every night since its beginning. After seeing what more was needed, the group of churches was called together again to discuss building a space distinctly designed to house the overnight shelter, a day shelter, and that referral agency. We used the same operating model, not knowing what we were doing, and a large building was constructed using mostly volunteer labor, and when it was opened, it was completely debt-free, using only donations and grant from private foundations. Miracles, I'd say. The thing I'd like to add is a little thing that started in Leavenworth at assisted living centers. A group sort of spontaneously combusted to sing with residents. Large print lyric books were printed, and the group had a revolving membership with about a dozen singers showing up each time. And there was a pianist. I use the term pianist very loosely because the group was called Linda and the Doo-Wops. And every Thursday for 10 years, the group visited assisted living centers and sort of hootenannied with the residents until COVID restricted our access. 10 years. And now it's time for the rebuttal. I've mentioned several things I was involved in, and I didn't do any of these things alone. It took a leader and her village. We're going to sing the alma mater later, and every time I do this, I get what my young children called goosebumples. When we sing this, I'd like you to sing out really loud on the most goosebumply lines. May thousands to thee flow, and thousands from thee go, to heal earth's sin and woe, my Ottawa. So, on behalf of the thousands of OU alums who have and are still out there healing Earth's woes, I humbly accept this award. Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Get your tickets now for Gooch's one-woman show coming to a theater near you, right? The recent Alumni Award was established in 2013 and is designed to recognize recent graduates who have attained a significant level of achievement and potential for accomplishment in the early years following graduation. The recipient must be a graduate of the university with at least 10 years, have met significant challenges in pursuit of professional goals, given service to the community, church, and others, or shown significant alumni participation and support. Couldn't think of a better recipient for this award tonight than ours, Mr. Rylan Miller. Rylan, your citation reads as follows. For earning your bachelor's and master's degree at Ottawa University, for your extensive service as an OU student athlete and volunteer with the Frederickson Center for Faith and Church Vitality, for your involvement in many community initiatives and offices such as Leadership Franklin County, Chamber of Commerce Executives of Kansas Board, Franklin County E-Commerce E-Community Board, Franklin County Historical Society Board, Ottawa Main Street Association Board, Franklin County Development Council Board, Franklin County Pathways to a Healthy Kansas Committee, Ottawa High School Site Council member, and the Ottawa Rotary Club. For your leadership and president and CEO of the Ottawa Chamber of Commerce, leading continuous improvement efforts in community engagement, member support, inclusion, and strategic planning. For these and other notable accomplishments, the officers and members of the OU Alumni Association on this 18th day of October 2024 proudly award you, Rylan Miller, with the 2024 Recent Alumni Award. Congratulations.
What an honor this is. This is really fantastic. It's funny, Dr. Lake, that you mentioned the letter that you got in the mail from Becky in regards to your invitation and letting you know that you won your award. I also got a letter in the mail. I'm showing my age a little bit and my generation tendencies to be able to pick up mail, as it took me probably about 2 weeks after I actually got the letter to open it and realize what it was. Once I did open it, I then sent a email to Becky and said, "Is this legitimate? What's going on?" And the reason for that is because the individuals that I graduated with, the individuals that graduated around me, I know so many of them still, and they are doing fantastic things. And so the fact that I have been recognized for this award is very honoring. The individuals who've come before me to win this award are fantastic individuals, and so the fact that I'm lumped in there with them, again, just really special. And much like that turtle that sits up on the fence post, I also didn't get there by myself. I've been blessed since day one from a God who gave me some of the best parents I could have ever asked for. My parents are here. My mom and dad are here today. You guys have loved me and cared for me in ways that it's hard to even describe. Here's mentorship, being men and women of integrity. I've been able to see you guys, how you lived your lives, and I try to live my life similarly. And whether it was you guys actually mentoring me or putting me in groups that allowed me to be mentored throughout my childhood, I know as a fact led to who I am today. And so thank you for that. Thank you for being such an integral part of my life. Another individual that's here today is a couple, actually, John and Sherry Cohen. John was the individual that gave me my job at the Chamber of Commerce as an intern, is when I would have started. What happened to those years of working at the chamber was he was able to teach me both professionally but also personally, whether that's coming over for Chief games, whether it's taking me to Royals or K-State games, or just grabbing a beer after work to be able to talk about things going on in my life. I know for a fact that I wouldn't be the man that I am without your leadership, your mentorship. And as a transplant to Kansas, you guys always made Ottawa feel like home. So thank you, John and Cherry. Again, not from Kansas originally, and if it wasn't for Ottawa University, I also wouldn't have been able to meet my beautiful bride, Michaela. Such a blessing in my life. I can't say enough amazing things about what she's done for me and around me. I love you very much, and I'm very blessed to have you as a spouse. And I'm also thankful for the family that she was able to give me as well. So my in-laws, both David and Lisa, are here, and you guys have accepted me as one of your own the moment I came into the family, and I couldn't ask for a better other half of family. So whether I'm staying in the Kansas side to spend time with you all, or I'm going back to Missouri to be able to spend time with my family, I'm just surrounded by some incredible folks that have just done so much to be able to allow me to be at this position. And I would be remiss if I didn't also mention Ottawa University. And when I say Ottawa University, not so much the institution, but the individuals that are in this room, the individuals that went through class or taught me in class. If it wasn't for Ottawa University, I know as a fact I wouldn't have this life. And I'm so blessed to be able to have this life. I'm so very thankful to be able to be doing the things that I'm doing in a community that's so supportive. And when people ask, why do you enjoy Ottawa? Why do you stay in Ottawa? It's always been the people. The reason I stayed at the university has been the people. The reason I continue to work and be able to have a family in this community is because of the people. And again, I couldn't have done anything I've done up to this point without the individuals that I've surrounded myself with. And I look forward to many years spending time with these people and being able to grow as an individual. And so thank you. Thank you for this honor. Thank you, Ottawa University.
Do you want to pick them up at the very end, or you want to take it back with you to show off? Yeah, you're going to take it back?
I do have the box for it if you want it.
That'd be fantastic.
Okay, so I'll get it to you after.
Nice job. Nice job. No notes, by the way. That's pretty impressive, Rylan. Nicely done. Nicely done. Wow. Honorary membership in the Ottawa University Alumni Association is designed to be the most prestigious honor granted by the OUAA. Individuals or married couples who have distinguished themselves over a considerable period of time by devoting a significant amount of their time, energy, and talents toward promoting the mission of Ottawa University. Once recognized, honorary members hold that title for their lifetime and are entitled to all the rights, privileges, and benefits of the highest level of membership of the OUAA. Tonight, we're honoring Danny Trent with such an award. Danny, for your distinguished background in legal practice, community service, and service to Ottawa University, for your legal representation as the city attorney for Bonner Springs, and as legal counsel for the Kaw Valley Drainage District, which governs the flood control structures on the Kansas River through Kansas City, Kansas. For your wide variety of litigation expertise and your ability to navigate complex legal issues as a mediator and calming presence. For your community involvement and leadership with the Bonner Springs Edwardsville Education Foundation Board of Directors and the Bonner Springs Edwardsville Chamber of Commerce. For your service with the OU Board of Trustees since 2013 and your service as board chair since 2021. For your service as a faith partner with Ottawa University and the American Baptist Churches. And for your guidance with OU's mission and development in the midst of ever-changing landscape of higher education. For your devotion to your friends and your family. It is for these and other notable accomplishments, the officers and members of the OU Alumni Association on this 18th day of October 2024 proudly award you, Danny Trent, with this honorary OUAA membership. Congratulations.
We've got to do a picture.
I do appreciate that they don't make us balance things and whatever. I sincerely wish you all could have been driving with me back and forth to the university the last few weeks, because you would have heard some really great speeches, but I've forgotten them all by now. There are a couple of strains of thought that the first one was, and I told some people this morning, I'm the last one. I'm just going to say, you didn't come to hear me, you came to hear the other folks. They've already spoken, thank you, and come down. And you'd probably applaud much louder if I did that. Thank you. I paid him to do that. But you know, some things happened today during the board meeting that were significant, and that's the message that I need to convey to you. I'm not, obviously, an alum of Ottawa University, and I've always been able to say then when HLC comes or whoever I'm talking to that I'm not an alum of Ottawa University, but I'm hooked on Ottawa University. I guess I won't be able to say that anymore, but then again, I didn't have to pay for college for 4 years to get this position either, right? But by not paying for college for 4 years and going to Ottawa, I missed something. See, I went to Wichita State between 75 and 79, and I think I got a really good education, and it has served me well. However, I wanted to just be anonymous and get it over with and move on. And I did, and it's worked. But then a little over 12 years ago, and good heavens, how could I say no, right? Wendy Lee calls me and says, Kevin and I would like you to come over and have lunch because we need, a representative from the American Baptist Churches of the Central Region. And we'd like to talk to you about being a trustee. And what could it hurt? A few years from now, they'll have somebody else and I'll be on with my life. And so I came down, and first Kevin, though, told me, read my white paper about how a Christian university can do liberal arts. That's my background, liberal arts, and I think, okay, I'll read it. Well, that hooked me. A Christian university doing liberal arts. And so I gave it a try. And so I didn't know that it really snowed in Phoenix. And so in February, I went down to Phoenix for the first meeting that I went to, and it had snowed. And so I thought, this is pretty cool, right? It's snow on the ground in the morning and 75 degrees by lunchtime. And I've been doing that now for 12 years. I should introduce my family because I spent a lot of time away from home being a trustee at Ottawa. And so my wife, Dawn, you can just raise your hands. You don't have to stand up. She'll be embarrassed if she has to stand. My oldest son, so I'll do, Gooch, I'll take your approach here. My oldest son first is Andrew, the redheaded one. And Aaron is the second son. And then Alex is actually a 19 graduate. He's in Odessa, Texas tonight, so it was a little bit long commute to get here. And then my youngest son, Eric, is in Atlanta tonight, so he is not here. But I appreciate you all being here because I want you to understand why I've spent time away from home. This afternoon, first, let me say one other thing here. I came to Ottawa University as a trustee. I had no idea what that meant. I came. I am immediately warmly welcomed by people who I'm not sure I'm their peer. I mean, these are captains of industry types. These are bankers and lawyers and CFOs and CEOs and people who are very accomplished in business. And I'm thinking, good heavens, what am I doing here? And they warmly welcomed me. They were incredibly gracious. I then got to meet distinguished higher education administrators and faculty. And they treated me like a colleague, of all things. I had no experience in anything like that. Why would they treat me that way? And over time, I think I began to understand. And it's the antithesis of what that 18-year-old kid at Wichita State University wanted. It really is a family. So when we say that to HLC and whoever, it's true. And so I'm hooked on Ottawa University. And then they asked, they came to me one day and said, would you be the secretary? I said, yes, but you're not putting me in any rotation to be the chair. Oh, they just laughed. So a few years later, I became chair. And I'm wondering why. Why are these people so gracious? Why have they become my friends, and not just my friends, but my family? And trustees, it's today's conversation about the statement of inclusion and belonging. Ottawa University used to have a diversity and equity statement. And Donald, we did pass the statement today, this afternoon. Now we have an inclusion and belonging statement. And we have some people on the board that have very disparate views and come from very disparate walks of life. And there were some points of contention on this statement of inclusion and belonging. And we found a way to get to that statement. And it was because it was over some words, just a word or two. Words like equity and diversity and things that just hadn't been defined and didn't fit what we knew. But we found words that we did know, and they made sense. And I began to realize why, as this new board member, I got to be involved in the mission statement revision way back when, and a second mission statement revision, and reaccreditations and strategic plans, 2 of them, and how many president searches have I been on, and co-chair of the search that brought Bill here. And folks, I think I was called to the position, and that may seem a little conceited, I don't know, but I do believe that. Because what has become my role at Ottawa University is that mission statement that says that we are a Christ-inspired community. We used to be a Christ-centered community. Now we're a Christ-inspired community. Why? Because we have this winsome Savior. And we want everybody who comes to Ottawa University to be confronted with faith. But we don't want to be in a position where we're telling them to be a Christian. And so, how do we do this? This liberal arts Christian university thing, how does that happen, particularly in a Baptist context, when you can't tell any Baptist what to believe or how to do it or anything else?
Amen.
That's right. And we do it by being Christ-inspired, and we invite people of disparate views, of different faiths, to come together and just simply be given the opportunity for them to make a decision. And I think that's why I've come here, and I think that's why I've stayed, and I think that's why I'm hooked on Ottawa University. And so I love this group. This really is family. And so that's why I miss being at home sometimes. But that's why. So that Christ-inspired community of faith is important to me. And this award is really significant to me. And so Ottawa University is steadfastly Christian, proudly American Baptist, and positively open and inclusive. And so thank you for this honor. I'm honored. And God bless Ottawa University. Thank you.
Danny. Before you get away, would you do me a favor and please turn to the video screen here?
Hey, Dad. As an Ottawa alum, I felt it was only fitting to send a message congratulating you on this special honor. On behalf of the brothers, the family, and all the Ottawa friends, congrats. You've lived a life full of service to so many people, and you deserve so many more nights like this. So enjoy your nights, and congrats.
There you go. You guys are done? Are you guys done? And just when you thought we were done, I have a special presentation because I get to present two people who have a special presentation. Chancellor Bill Tsutsui and Vice Chancellor for Advancement Janet Peters.
Y'all are clapped out. I understand. It's okay. Hey, good evening, everyone. What a pleasure to be here tonight to honor some amazingly accomplished alumni and to share a special announcement along with Vice Chancellor of Advancement Janet Peters and a couple special guests. The history of Ottawa University is, of course, a long and inspiring one. From the establishment of this campus on the Kansas frontier more than a century and a half ago, to our pioneering work in adult and online education, to the visionary creation of another residential campus 1,000 miles away in Arizona, to our deep and defining commitment to lasting relationships with the American Baptist churches, the Ottawa Tribe of Oklahoma, the City of Ottawa, and now the City of Surprise as well. We have so much to be proud of in our heritage here and across the country, and indeed around the world, but we also have so much to celebrate about the university today and so much to energize us as we look to the future. This campus has been riding a wave of strong enrollments, including our largest classes in history last year, continues adding and upgrading facilities for athletics and academics, keeps winning more trophies like those 4 straight national championships in flag football, and building new programs like the university's first doctoral degree. And we have new campus leadership with passion, experience, and vision. OUAZ, meanwhile, can boast over 900 students in only its 8th year, a growing campus with a beautiful new residential and teaching building, and an ambitious agenda for developing new academic offerings. And in Overland Park, where we just celebrated half a century of OU's physical presence in Greater Kansas City, we have moved to a wonderful new location to accommodate our growth and are investing assertively in a range of new degree offerings, especially in nursing and health sciences. Today, OU is riding a wave of momentum that other American colleges and universities can and should be envious of. None of us in higher ed can afford to be complacent, however, in a landscape of dizzying technological and economic change, political polarization, and vast demographic and cultural shifts. But Ottawa University's mission of preparing graduates for lifetimes of personal significance, vocational fulfillment, and service to God and humanity is as timely now as it was 159 years ago. And we can look together to the future with confidence and much cause for optimism. 3 years ago, our faculty, staff, and students, along with other stakeholders, alums, partners, community members, came together to reflect on how far Ottawa University has come, where we stand now, and what the future holds. The strategic plan that emerged from this inclusive grassroots process grew from our collective hopes and from a clear-eyed sense of the focus required to flourish in American higher education today. The path forward we charted is an ambitious one that will touch all of our campuses and all who learn, teach, and work on them and beyond them. But it is also an essential one as we seek to serve the evolving needs of students and society, amplify our impact on individual lives and the greater world, and ensure Ottawa University's lasting financial strength. There are opportunities before us that OU is uniquely positioned to grasp, and now is our moment to reach out for them. Needless to say, the vibrant, growing, aspirational Ottawa University we have today would not have been possible without generations of generous supporters who recognized the timeless importance of our mission, had faith in the power of a Christ-inspired community of educators and learners, and invested in us and the brighter future that OU could help create. In order to realize our vision at this pivotal moment, we will need to call once again on all who this university has touched and all who are inspired by our plans to join us in writing the next chapter in Ottawa's rich history. Thus, tonight, we are thrilled to launch publicly the largest campaign in Ottawa University's history, with a goal of $35 million that is as bold as our vision is. And we are calling the campaign OU Forevermore, One Spirit, Endless Possibilities. The name comes from this campus and the Braves fight song. But the tagline comes from our whole community, from the collective hopes of our strategic planning process, and from the future we are striving to achieve. I'm going to ask Janet Peters to now come forward and share some additional details on OU Forevermore and the impact it will have on the university and us all.
Thank you, Bill. So as we go forward with Ottawa OU Forevermore, the pillars of this campaign come directly from the strategic plan that Bill just talked about. Our three major pillars are expanding opportunity, high academic ambitions, and elevating the student experience. Job one, expanding opportunity, fortifying Ottawa University's endowment. That will ensure the health, the long-term health of Ottawa University and the flourishing of our vital student-centered mission. Investment in OU Forevermore will also establish more endowed scholarship funds that bring an Ottawa University education within reach of more students. And I know there are some people out here at these tables who have already established endowed scholarship funds and made a difference for students. And we know we will have more people that will do more of those wonderful things. High academic ambitions. With your support for OU Forevermore, we'll invest in new and existing programs that will address strong student demand and acute workforce needs. Major areas such as healthcare initiatives, such as at our Overland Park campus with nursing and the physician assistant program, engineering, business, and other programs, and essential funding for initiatives that support highest performing students, such as advanced experiential learning. Elevating the student experience will enhance student services such as advising, tutoring, career services, retention programs, boosting co-curricular activities in the athletics and in the arts, and also provide essential well-being, essential funds for well-being and students in need, including the Frederickson Center and faith initiatives, as Danny spoke of. So your support for OU Forevermore will provide all of these kinds of opportunities for students and also new internship opportunities and career opportunities and mentoring by OU alumni. So as we move forward, what are our first priorities in this campaign? First priority, job one, endowment investment. Also, we are working to start up the physician assistant master's program at OUKC. And that program does have a fairly large startup cost, so we are working to raise money for the funding for that as it will start in 2026. Next steps will be other academic programs such as ABET accreditation for the engineering program, career services, and other campus and university projects for each unit, and then current support for the current programs, including student welfare and campus beautification. Now I will invite Chancellor Tsutsui to come back to tell you what we've accomplished so far and what our future plans are.
Thank you so much, Janet. $35 million is a high bar to set for ourselves, but the good news is that we've already made substantial progress toward our goal. University fundraising campaigns always have silent phases, and ours started in 2021 when I arrived at OU. As of today, when OU Forevermore goes from silent to loud, we have raised a total of $15 million. That total includes the largest boost to the Ottawa University endowment ever, the $3 million plus in gifts, including from many people here tonight, to create a permanent scholarship fund in honor of Chancellor Emeritus Kevin Eichner and his wife Marilyn, as well as many thousands of other very generous individual, corporate, and foundation gifts. From the $10 in cash that Janet and I were given by a staff member a few weeks ago at our Wisconsin campus, to the more than $700,000 from grants, alumni, and local foundations that were invested in our new pre-licensure nursing program. And tonight, I am very happy to announce publicly a leadership gift, a transformative grant, and a couple of wonderful surprises that are propelling us toward our critical initial goal of raising the startup costs for the new physician assistant program and our priority of supporting student success across the university. Thanks to the leadership of Senator Jerry Moran and with the support of Representative Sharice Davids, both of whom clearly understand the importance of independent higher education in the state of Kansas, and the training of highly qualified health sciences professionals to the future of Greater Kansas City, Ottawa University has received a federal appropriation of $900,000 to support the purchase of essential laboratory equipment for the PA program on the Overland Park campus. In addition, some of our most loyal and most generous supporters, Don Creed, class of 1969, and his wife Carolyn, pledged $590,000 this summer toward the pre-launch costs of the PA program, as well as STEM programs here in Ottawa. This brings their total donations to OU to $1.4 million, including leadership support for the amazing Creed Family Greenhouse, funds toward the establishment of pre-licensure nursing, and other important contributions to the enhancement of the university's science and technology programs. And Don and his son Brian are here. Could you please stand up and be recognized? So on Wednesday evening, when we gathered in Overland Park to celebrate our new campus location and 50 years in Kansas City, we had a very pleasant surprise when Lonnie and Carol King very generously and completely unexpectedly pledged $25,000 toward the PA program's establishment. And just today, a life member of the Board of Trustees and his wife, both long-term supporters of the university, pledged $100,000 towards OU Forevermore's goal of elevating the student experience through support for student advising, counseling, and career services in the Odawe Center. So just saying, if you feel inclined following dinner tonight to jump on this bandwagon, you know what Janet looks like. Please join me now in thanking Senator Moran, Representative Davids, the Creeds, the Kings, the generous couple who wish to remain anonymous for this evening, and all the other donors who have gotten us off to a great start on OU Forevermore. Of course, we still have a long ways to go to reach $35 million and fund all the programs that will fulfill our vision for the future of Ottawa University. But Janet and her team are doing a wonderful job of talking with past supporters, engaging with new ones, writing grant proposals, and approaching companies and private foundations. We're awaiting news on 2 major asks for the PA startup and have more in the pipeline in the coming months. What gives us confidence is not just the enthusiasm for our vision that we have encountered in almost every conversation we have had about this campaign, but it is also the fact that Janet and I and our small but mighty advancement team won't be scaling this $35 million peak alone. With us will be an engaged and energized campaign committee made up of alumni from all our units and representing decades going back to the 1950s. Trustees, parents of recent graduates, faculty members, and coaches from all across the country, and bringing a wide variety of professional experience and skill sets. Leading this group, we have some phenomenal honorary chairs. The Odells, who are with us this evening. Jim and Jean, please stand up, or at least wave. And the Eichners, all of whom I think are very well known to us here, and all of whom have given so generously of their hearts, their souls, their time, and their financial resources to make OU what it is today. And then there are our campaign chairs, all of whom are deeply devoted to Ottawa University and serve us in more ways than I can list. Bob Evans, a trustee and chair of the board's OU Online Committee, and John and Jeannie Krug. Jeannie is also a trustee and is my go-to for tough assignments, including chairing the search for our wonderful new AD here in Ottawa. Please join me in thanking these people for their service and in welcoming Bob and Jeannie forward to offer a few remarks. We lost Bob somewhere.
We lost Bob.
We'll take John.
Hi, again, my name is Jeannie Stewart Krug, and I am an alum of the class of 1980. A little bit, first of all, I want to thank Bill and Janet for asking me to co-chair the committee, along with my husband, John, and he'll say a few words following me. But my story, and I don't have a script, so I'll speak from the heart, but my life has been with the American Baptist affiliation. My parents were American Baptist missionaries to the Congo for 12 years. So I spent my first 12 years of my life in Africa and kind of absorbing the experience that would really change my life forever through my current years. My parents came back because of the health of my grandmother, but my father was an African history professor at Westchester University, and my mother was working at the American Baptist headquarters. So after I finished high school, I wasn't ready to go to college. So I too worked at the American Baptist headquarters for 2 years, and my boss was an alum of OU. And he suggested, hey, why don't you try Ottawa University? So, much to my parents' chagrin, I went from Philadelphia to Kansas. And I will have to say that that was probably the best decision of my life, besides saying yes to him. And also our two boys. But the 4 years that I spent here developing the relationships like many of you have talked about today is just the family atmosphere that Ottawa does provide to all of us, and the lasting relationships that have been formed here. Being asked to serve as a trustee also has really focused my passion for Ottawa, and I truly enjoy the relationships on the board, as well as just meeting so many alums across the board. So with that, also, our oldest son went to Ottawa, graduated in 2012, played with the Anderson brothers football. So again, he's made lasting friendships too. So I can just speak like the other alums that spoke tonight, how much Ottawa does mean to our family. So with that, I want to hand it over to John to have a couple words. He'll tell you about it, but he's.
Thank you, Jeannie. This is just an honor for me to be involved with this campaign and to give back to Ottawa University, as we love it so much. My background is in education and coaching. I was a high school football coach for 38 years, and on Friday nights, well, about this time, it's about the fourth quarter, and I can see all your faces are saying, let's get on with it, coach. Come on, let's go. So I'll get on with it. But the thing that I heard tonight through most everyone's speech was how the people of OU made their experience so important. And it is so true that it is the people, whether you as a student or a faculty member or the friends you made or the associations you made or anything like that. And it's the people that will keep this going. And so when we call and we ask, and we are going to ask and we're going to call, think of those times, think of those people, think of those relationships, think of those things, and think of the joy that that has brought you in your life as you've come through. As a coach, I always try to leave things with my players when I left them on a Friday night after we won, or if we lost. We won a lot more than we lost, though. But one thing I'd say to them every Friday night after the last time I'd see them is I'd say, and remember, don't get thrown into anything and don't get thrown out of anything tonight. So as I leave you tonight, remember that. Don't get thrown into anything. Don't get thrown out of anything. Have a great night. Enjoy yourselves. Enjoy the rest of the evening with your friends. Bill, thank you so much for your generosity to me tonight in this. And let's go OU.
Thank you so much, Jeannie and John. Thank all of you for being here to celebrate some distinguished graduates and another homecoming on this campus, to launch the OU Forevermore campaign, to gather in the Ottawa spirit, and to reflect together on our history while turning our eyes and our ambitions to the future. I hope you will join us in supporting our vision for Ottawa University, that you will stay engaged with OU and all the wonderful things happening here, and that you will continue to be an active part of this Christ-inspired community of grace and open inquiry, its growth, and its ongoing success. Thank you again for being with us, and thank you for being a part of OU Forevermore.
Thank you, Bill and Janet, Jeannie, everybody. Fantastic. How exciting. Wow. Since tonight is about tradition, moving forward, though, it seems only appropriate before we conclude that we sing the alma mater. What do you say we do that? The words are printed on page 11 of your program, and since I can't carry a tune in a bucket, these two can. They're going to take over from here, but we won't be done. Hang on.
We're singing verse 1 and Gooch verse 4. Sweet alma mater,
as thou hast cherished me, so will I cherish thee, my Ottawa. Thanks chiefly for thy care to make all learning fair, with light of psalm and prayer, my Ottawa. Sweet alma mater, the God thou dost adore, increase thee more and more, my Ottawa. May thousands to thee flow, and thousands from thee go, to heal earth's sin and woe, my Ottawa.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. We want to congratulate all the Alumni Association honorees this evening. They've each represented OU well and in and around the world, and let's give them all another round of applause before we go, please. We also want to thank all of those that made this evening possible, especially the advancement and alumni staff, including Laura Boyd, Lee Stadler, and American Dining Creations. If you hear a giant sigh of relief when you leave tonight, that is the advancement and alumni team. This is our third banquet and third nights, and tomorrow is homecoming. So we'll sleep maybe Sunday. I'm not sure exactly, but thank you to all of those who helped tonight. Of course, we'd like to invite you to join all in the homecoming festivities tomorrow, including our campus tours in the morning, our tailgate on the mall before the game itself at 1. We have soccer o'clock or at 5. And we're very excited about our first ever all-class reunion live at Legacy Square. We'll have food, a beer garden, music, and all alums invited to share all the memories together. So you're all cordially invited tomorrow night. Legacy Square is located downtown at First and Walnut. We'll be there from 6 until 9 o'clock, and we'd love to see you all there. 2 housekeeping and fundraising notes. The plants on your table, as you see them, those are from our own Creed family greenhouse. How about that? They are available for only $10, so proceeds, however, are returned to the Creed Family Greenhouse Fund. So if you would like to take home one of those tonight, see any of the advancement members, myself or Becky, anybody here tonight. Also, we have a limited supply of Alumni Homecoming T-shirts for sale. They're still downstairs, Becky, in the registration area. $15 for those. All proceeds go to the endowment fund. I made a note a minute ago, and now I can't find it, but I can do it I can do it by memory. 3 things tonight that I heard that I want you to carry out of here as we leave. It was all about people, it was all about family, and it was all about faith. That's what we're all doing here tonight. That is the OU spirit. Please carry it with you. Take it to everyone you know. Thank you for being here tonight. Please drive safely, and good night. Thanks, Reagan.